Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. To all of my Polish viewers, don't be afraid, I'm going to continue the videos in Polish still, so don't be afraid. And to all of people in England, in other countries which are based on English language, basically I'm going to show you step-by-step tutorials how to start your journey with Solidworks, and also, well, basically what to do to things which you would like to do. And well, probably this few videos which I'll start with, I'll make them, they will be pretty similar to the videos which are made in Polish, because if you will go on my channel, you'll see that I have already made like around 20 videos in Polish where I teach how to make from basic parts to more advanced things like assemblies and etc. And well, people in Poland, I would say, like my videos, so I'm going to continue the form of teaching, and I think it will also work for you. So also let me know in comments if you like the form of these videos. Maybe I will change something for you, because, well, I guess you know that I'm making these videos for you. Okay, other thing, and the last before we'll start, is that my Solidworks version is the Polish version, but I'm not sure if you know, if you are not from the English, like first language English, well, never mind, you know what I mean, country. The thing is that your Solidworks, some of the features, some of the operations, I mean all of the things which you will find in here, you can see, are in English, so this is not a problem for you. The only thing is that sometimes, I'm not sure why, for example, this means the front plane, the top plane and the right plane. And also, if you are creating the new file, you press File, New, and here you have part, and then assembly, and then drawing. So I'm not sure why it's like this, but it is. So if there will be something in Polish, I'll just translate it straight to English, and you will know what it means, right? Okay, so let's get started. On the front plane, basically how Solidworks is working. First, you have to make a sketch, and then you have to extrude the sketch to make a 3D part using this sketch. So maybe I'll just show you how it's working. First of all, in here on these 3 planes, you can show them. I can show them for you. Press the right button, and then in here show. I will show all 3 of them, and in between 3 of them in here there's an origin, so you can easily see basically how the area in where you can work is looking like. You can start your drawing using each of these 3 planes. Also, you can create a new plane if you want to, but to start the drawing you can just choose one of these planes, unless you want to do something in where the origin would be better in the center of a part, for example, and you prefer to create it, for example, you know, like a little bit, I'm not sure how to explain it, but well, then I will show you in the next videos, so I think it will be easier. So yeah, you can create the part using one of these three planes. And well, I'll show you how to make it. First of all, in here there's a normal 2 button, which if you press it, the view of the area in here will become normal 2 to this plane. So it will be easier for you to draw something, because you will see it right how it's looking like, it not be under the angle over there. You know what I mean, I guess. Well, also sorry for like all mistakes in English I'm making, but as you know, English is not my first language, so I hope you will forgive me. Well, so sketch, and then first try to sketch something which will be pretty simple. In here you can choose the tool which you will be using for making a simple drawing, which then we will be extruding. The good practice is to start from the origin, so start from here, and then you probably won't have this arrow in here, so also I will show you in the next video how to turn it on. But for now, just make things like this without any dimensions. Do something pretty similar to, let me say, this. Also, if you see that the program is trying to attach your end of your line to something like this, for example, in here, or for example like in here you see this yellow icon, then just ignore it and try to do everything apart. I mean, try to end your lines not to be in relation with other points, other things in your drawing. This thing means that it's vertical, for example, so this is fine, right? For example, in here I want it to be horizontal, I wanted this line to be horizontal, so this is fine. But for example, I don't want this point to be in the center of in the center of this line, right? So I will, for example, put this line in here, so I know that it's horizontal with the origin, and then I will join the all sketch together. If the plane is too small for you, I mean, the plane is, you know, it's unlimited, right? Well, it never ends. So this is just a visualization of it. You can make it bigger, you can just make it bigger, yeah. So this is how it's working. Other thing is that, well, right now you can choose each of the sketch lines, and using the control button and holding it, you can choose, for example, these two and make them, for example, equal. You see? So right now they are equal, they will move together, and in here you see the relation that is equal length in here and in here. You see they are highlighted in orange. So this is this thing. Another one, for example, we wish these two lines to be parallel. Alright. Other thing, for example, we want this to be for example 40 millimeters long, right? So how to make it? In here you have the Smart Dimension tool, click it, and then click on this line, and you will see that basically the dimension of it will appear. Also, because in here you are choosing the length of this line in here, you can also choose, for example, length between two lines. So first you click this one and then this one, and basically it's working the same way, but the difference is now you are using the two lines to define the length. So yeah, right now you use these two lines, and usually, I'm not sure what's wrong with my Solidworks, I was trying to figure it out. Usually when you click, you don't have to double click on it as me, because this window will appear instantly. I have to double click, so doesn't matter basically how it's working on your computer, just use this window to put the length you want to into the sketch. So well, I said 40 before, so make it 40. And then try to set dimension on the sketch. I'll then put the dimensions in here. Make this 40, and for example, make this angle in here. Let it be around, for example, 120 degrees. Right. This one. Also, you can grab and move the dimension, right? So it's not important for now. It's not going to the place where the dimension is in here won't appear in a drawing in the same place when you will be then making a drawing from this part. So excuse me. So it's just for the sketch, and basically as long as you know, as long as the sketch is clear for you and you know what is where and what dimension is what dimension, basically, you don't have to care about where the dimension is. Also, for example, I want dimension between this line and put 15 in here. And also, the sketch is starting in the origin. What does it mean for us? It means that this point is never going to move, right? Right now, we have defined this dimension, this, and this. We can grab each of the blue lines and see what will happen when we will pull it, right? So we will see how the sketch will be moving. Oh, for example, this one is, you see? So this line is not defined, so we can move it like this, right? This one is also not defined, because automatically when this one is not defined, this one is changing place, right? Left or right. This one too, and this one too. Why, for example, this one is black? Because this line is staying in the same place as this, but the point, and in here you can see it's blue. So it means that this point is moving, but the line is still on its place, right? And I guess that if we will define this dimension in here, also, as you can see, first I clicked in here. Also, I'm not sure if I told you, this płaszczyzna przednia means it's the front plane. First, if I click on this line and then I will click Smart Dimension, I can put directly the dimension in here. Set it to 50. You don't have to copy my dimensions. The thing is that just if you will copy my dimensions, I think it might be easier for you, because then when we will be making more advanced, more difficult parts, sometimes dimensions will be pretty important for us. So if you will be making the parts with your dimensions, they won't be working sometimes, let's say. Also, I will mention when the dimensions will be important. Right now it's just to make it look pretty the same, I guess. So also, what now we can do? You see, now basically this one is not defined, or we can define, for example, length of this one, because as you can see, those two lines are moving. Also, this length of this is changing, so also we can define this one. Let's just define this make it 60 for example, yeah. And now the sketch is black. So what does it mean? It means that it's fully defined, and right now we can't move it. We basically can't move it, right? Also, when I clicked in here and it appeared, if I want this to disappear, because in here when I'm putting another dimension, the sketch is fully defined. So Solidworks is telling us that the sketch is fully defined, and this basically this value is not mandatory. And yeah, so if you want to just cancel this the dimension and cancel the feature we are doing right now, just press escape and it will disappear. Alright, so right now we have the sketch. In here you can click to exit the sketch. And what will be the next thing you are going to do? It's going to be features and then extruded boss base, the first operation in here. I will go with you through all of these operations, so you will see what to do, how to do, etc. And also, as I said, if you have any questions for me, just type in comments and I will try to answer all of you. Also, you will find a link to my Facebook account in where you can write to me. Also on my YouTube channel in here I have an email in where you can write to me, also asking questions. And keep in mind that I'm also making a lot of projects, I can give you private lessons, so you know, just write to me and we will find out what to do and how to help you. Alright, so right now we have this sketch and we want to extrude it. So there is two options basically. First of all, also hide this plane, because usually there is no plane visible. You're just making a sketch and you keep in mind that it's on plane, and usually you know what plane is it, because you know on which plane you started. Alright, so right now you have this sketch, and all you have to do to extrude it is to click extrude in here. And right now you have to either click on sketch in here, so this is the first option. Other thing, you can click in here, and in here you can expand this tree, and in here you can choose the sketch. It's working the same way. And you can just click in here on the sketch and also click extrude next after you click the sketch, and also basically the same window will appear. So yeah, it is the three options how to make it. Expand it blind. In here you have so many options, so make sure that it's blind in here, and set the 20 millimeters in here. We are not taking care about this operations in here, about this too, so just put the 20 millimeters in here, accept. And as you can see right now we have a 3D part. Also moving around the Solidworks, I'm not sure if I mentioned, clicking the mouse, the wheel of the mouse, when you hold the wheel of the mouse, when you click it, you can rotate your part. When you click Control and the wheel of the mouse, you can move around. And also with Alt and this middle, this wheel of the mouse, you can rotate like this. Usually I don't see a point to use this thing. I never use it, but maybe some people will find it helpful, so yeah, I'm showing it. Basically you are using this and then this. Also you can just, you know, like zoom out, zoom in on the something, so you don't go from here, because as you can see, it's not like you will feel it, right? You will see that if you want to go from this corner to that corner, or even to that corner, you don't go like this usually and focus in here, and you are just making like this and maybe zoom out, zoom in on this, you know. And now that corner, zoom out, zoom in, something like this, right? So yeah, this is this thing. Another thing, well, so what we are going to do now, we will talk about the chamfer and about the fillets. But in SolidWorks, I would say that the most important thing is to think about how to make the part. So what I mean by that is you have to think about the operations which you have to do step by step, from the biggest one to the smallest ones. So don't start with making chamfers and fillets before you make the whole part, unless in some situations you have to make a fillet before, but well, we'll talk about it later. But usually the rule is that you have to start with the biggest extrudes, then go to the smaller ones, and then after everything you are making holes, you are making cuts in your part, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good way to do this. Let's say like this. Okay, so on this plane you can choose every plane in here just by clicking mouse on it, right? It will highlight in blue. So choose this plane, for example, click Ctrl 8, so it will turn normal to, and right now this plane is highlighted, so you can click sketch and it will automatically sketch on this plane. In here, make a just simple rectangle in here, like this. For example, this one is a center rectangle, right? So you can, in here you can see center rectangle. Probably you will have the corner rectangle chosen in here. So yeah, make sure that is the corner rectangle, and make a rectangle maybe like this. Okay, put the dimensions in here. This might be 15 as it is in here. Well, never mind. This will be 40. Okay. Well, now I just copied by mistake. So yeah, you can just click on it and press delete. I copied this one by highlighting this and holding the control and moving it out. But yeah, usually you don't do this. Well, so just grab it, and without control you have to just move it. To move it, yeah, if you grab by corner you can move it whenever you want, I mean. So put it in here. Okay, make sure that in here the distance is, for example, I don't know, 8. Okay, and this distance would be, let it say 15. Okay, so then features also extruded, and in here you can see that it's showing you how it will be looking like after the extrusion, right? For example, put the 40 in here, alright, but there might be a situation when it's like this. So what to do, as you probably seen already, you have to click this reverse direction in here, and that direction will reverse, basically. Also make sure that there is a merge result active, so you will know that, well, I will just explain this how it's working later, because if you will make this look like this, well, I'm not sure how to explain it in English in the correct way, but the thing is that if it's in this state, you will make two separate objects, which in some conditions is you want to make two separate objects, but right now we are making just one object. So yeah, click merge results, and this whole part will be just in one object for the program. Alright, so click OK, And right now we have something like this. So as you can see, basically it's like make a sketch and then extrude, or for example make a sketch and then revolve it, so it will become something like a donut, for example. Yeah, so right now this is all the things we wanted to extrude, and now the other thing we want to do is to cut. How to cut? Pretty the same, I would say. We want to make a hole in here, right? So click on this, Ctrl 8 or normal 2. You can either click Ctrl 8 or, for example, in here, right button and normal 2. So yeah, do anybody remember how wide was that? Well, in here you can press in here. This is the center point. If you will look closely, you will see this yellow square in here. So you can click on this square and then it will be in the center in here, right? So as you can see right now, this point, this one is a midpoint. So you see that end of this line basically is the middle of this line. And it's almost defined. The only thing you can move is this point. As you can see, it's blue, right? I extruded it around 40, I guess. Yeah, it was 40. So make this dimension 20. And why I'm making this? Because sometimes it's easier. I mean, I want to make a circle in the center of this square, and I might make a circle, for example, like in here, and then smart dimension this circle, for example, like this, and put the 20 in here, and then 20 in here. But I just found that it will be easier for me to make the center line. Also, when it's the center line, and we want to make this thing wider, it will be still on the center. It will be 20 from here, so when we will extrude it, for example, for 50, it won't be in the center, right? Because this will move 10 up to here, and the center of it will be like in here. I mean that the 20, the point will be in here, so it won't be in the center. But it always would be in the center in this dimension. So I think you know what I mean. Okay, so right now press this center of this circle and center of, I mean this point, by you have to click this one and then hold the control and click this one, and you can just put merge in here, so it will be in the center, right? Other pretty important thing, for example, if you don't want this to be in the to be in this midpoint, you can just click on this relation in here and click delete, and now it's moving, as you can see. But we want this midpoint, so yeah. Now click on this square, and now click on this point. Whoops, something is not working. So okay, sometimes it's pretty tough to choose the point, or for example like this. Now it worked because now I choose it in the right way. But sometimes it's not going to let you. So as you can see, I'm doing my best. Oh, now it worked. If it's not working this way, you can always grab this and put it in here and just leave it and release the button, I mean, yeah, so it will appear in here and it will automatically make a relation. Okay, so last thing, this will be 20, and now make exactly the same thing. So we can go to features and extrude it, so yeah, it will be looking like this, or we can extrude it cut, right? Make this operation, so it will go through here, but it will cut. So yeah, now we have a hole in here. Pretty basics. So right now, I think the last thing I want to show you in this video is how to make this fillets and chamfers, right? So how it's working, basically, if you want to round the corners, for example in here, and make the radius maybe 2, you can click either on a plane, so all the edges which are on the edges of this plane, right, they will go round. So you can make it like this, but in here, for example, you see that it's not looking like that beautiful, because in here you have this edge, right? If you will round this edge, so in here you can click fillet and delete it, right? You can first, for example, round all of these edges, okay, like this, accept, and then in the next operation you can round it like this, right? So now you see that the corners are round, they are looking nice. Pretty the same with a chamfer. So for example, you want to put chamfer in here, not this big actually, also make it 2, and put the chamfer in here. So you see how it will be looking like, and also how the chamfer is working and how the fillet is working. When I will show you on the sketch, I will make a, for example in here I will make a sketch which will be basically a drawing of how it's working. If you have corner like this, a fillet will go like this, right? So it will add well, assuming that the part is looking like this, right? That this one is filled. This is what's it looking like? The section view. Oh yeah. So this is the section view of the part, and if you add fillet in here, it will look like this. So it will add the material. It will add the material to your part, as you can see. And if you are adding it in here, it will cut off your material, right? I think it's clear. Yeah, so I just canceled the sketch. And this is what happened in here. In here it added material, so it made the chamfer like this. And in here it cut off some material, so it went round. Okay, so this is chamfers and fillets, and I guess we will see each other in the next video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, because I'm going to add few new videos each month. I think it will be one video a week, so it will be easier for you if you will subscribe me. On the channel, on my channel, if you will go in there, you will see that there will be, this will be the video 1 about the tutorial. It will be like name, the playlist will be named step-by-step tutorial, I guess. So you will pretty easily find it. And well, yeah, I think that's it for now. I hope you will enjoy. I hope you enjoyed actually, because it ends. And yeah, see you in my next video. Hey.